kind of a scary concept to go into a room full of people beating the shit out of each other, but it's also a very intriguing thing.
So we've got this guy on me right now is Aaron, it's Kane, Jem is the front man, and it's Josh.
Our security guy.
I'm the security. We are Speed. We are Speed.
Hardcore as a genre is quite obsessed with kind of labeling itself as hardcore. And I think the reason why that is because hardcore as a label has a lot more gravity in the way that it defines the music than I think a lot of other genre labels. What hardcore as a genre definition is more a code of ethics that the bands and the community itself kind of applies to itself.
It's something that tends to take over your friendship group. It tends to dictate the way that you see the world. It becomes something that you are involved with purely for the passion, and you do so selflessly because there is no real return monetarily or superficially. But what we do get, especially realizing this at our age now, being involved in the scene for like more than half our lives, is just an amazing community and the best friends we could ever ask for, and some of the best experiences I've ever had in my life.
There's a lot of different people that listen to hardcore, a lot of different walks of life, different genders, different nationalities, all from different parts of the city. And I think that the common experience of people that are into hardcore is that they just don't really feel like they fit into a lot of the places that they come from. And so I think that brings people together, and you kind of throw them into this like frying pan with all of these extreme elements.
And why we're so passionate about it is because there's this thing in our brains which clicked, which is like, yeah, I love this, and you do too, and a lot of people outside these four walls don't get it, but we do, and that already spells the story about our relationship. I don't need to know your story, I just know you're into hardcore. That fills in the blank enough that like we get each other more than 99% of people outside of the show.
We're all 30 years old, and like we still like get excited for really violent hardcore shows.
Yeah. It's a violent thing, and it's so aggressive, and when you look at it, especially as like a civilian, it's very difficult to understand. If we're really tracing like the real core, the beauty, the essence of hardcore, what makes it so special is that, you know, it's this subculture which attracts freaks from all walks of life to this one meeting room, which is the venue, and you throw them in the same space and play the most tribal, crazy, stupid sounding music, and people just go off and essentially just fight each other to this music, you know, for half an hour. Like, if you put that on paper, it would never ever work. But the fact that everyone everyone gets along the same way, understands kind of the code for the most part, and leaves and just like eats ice cream together out the front and just hangs out, you know, week in, week out like that, like, it's a difficult thing to kind of put to words to be able to understand. But that in itself is the most powerful thing, is the understanding of common sense of culture, common sense of etiquette, and respect for each other, you know what I'm saying? Unleashing a kind of response, or like an energy and a sense of passion to the music that would not be accepted, you know, really in any other field. I was coming back to, like, every second weekend from shows with black eyes, like 12, 13, 14 years old, and my mum was thinking that they were just like, you know, like a heavy metal concert or like a rock concert or like, you know, ska or something. And I'm coming home with like black eyes as like a kid, and she just like had no idea, like didn't understand what the go was. But we were loving it. Speed is not meant to be like a political band. You know, there are bands that do fly a flag, you know, at the core of like what they're doing, which is awesome. But Speed really didn't start for that purpose. Our politics is hardcore. Like we're a hardcore band. That's the main thing. We're trying to promote Australian hardcore. And then when we're talking about, you know, the lyrical content, obviously it's going to be very personal. And it's funny because I think that we're uncovering a lot of our own journey in our lives through the journey of Speed. When you're starting a hardcore band, especially, like, the perception is that it's going to be hyper masculine and very macho, and we knew that like people would probably listen to the demo and expect, you know, maybe it's just a makeup of American guys, you know, who kind of look like how every American band has looked like for the last 20 years. So just something like putting our photo on the cover of the demo was intentional because I want people to see, like, this is what we look like, and we're from Australia. That had a bit of a response. Like I got way more Asian friends now in my life than I did ever before Speed, like fully, and it's amazing, you know. It's been very, very, very empowering to recognize that, I guess, first generation Australians who are, you know, from ethnic backgrounds kind of share a similar experience about maybe feeling a little bit marginalized in a certain way or not respected, you know, in ways that other people were at a similar point in life.
We make it really obvious that we are a hardcore band. How we portray ourselves, like, it's like we are a 100% hardcore band.
When you go to the gym, like if people go to the gym and you look at a bar and it's like the heaviest weight you can possibly pick up, okay? Whatever is the soundtrack in your mind that's giving you that energy to pick that weight up and complete the lift, that's the recipe for Speed's music. It's just
music.
PR music, G up music. That's what it's meant to be.
Speed.
I need
We're all doing the same one.
I need an auto tune.